All right, next thing we're talking about is a big upset that we saw. Actually, maybe not a big upset, depending on who you talk about. It is South Carolina destroying Texas A&M, number 10 Texas A&M, 44-20. Let's go to the highest grade player, starting off with the South Carolina Gamecocks. Edge defender Dylan Stewart just continues to be an absolute star in his true freshman season with an 89.8 grade. We'll talk about him in just a second. TJ Sanders, another great player in that defensive line, 87.2. Rocket Sanders, the running back at 82. Joshua Simon, the tight end, 75.6. Cornerback O'Donnell Fortune was also one of the highest graded players in this game. We'll get the exact grade on that in just a second. And then Lenore Sellers, the 70.4 grade. Let's go over to Texas A&M with their highest graded players. The highest one was Jabri Barber, their top receiver, with the 78.4. Armaj Reed Adams, offensive guard, has been playing really well for them all year, honestly, with a 74.5. Marcus Ratliff at a 72.7. Jaden Hill at a 71.5. Bryce Anderson, 71.1. And Marcel Reed, the quarterback, at a 51.2 grade. Dalton, for you, what was the stat to the story?
Fill in the gap there real quick, because I was doing the grades at 5:30 this morning and just whiffed it. O'Donnell Fortune with a 72.9, so obviously a very good day for him. Okay, so this was a game where, and I'm so mad that I knew there was an SEC upset coming and I picked the wrong one. I'm so mad about that. But this was a game where from the very first play of the game, you could just feel South Carolina's defensive line. This is one of the, 2 or 3 best D-lines in the country. You could, some argue it's number one. It almost, if you're watching this game as an offensive coach, okay, you would get anxiety watching South Carolina's D-line just absolutely just shred it, right? Dylan Stewart, TJ Sanders. You still have Kyle Kennard. You still have Tonka Hemingway. You got everybody. There's so many guys. They just dominated this game from start to finish. As a unit, 47.2% pass rush win rate. They pressured Marcel Reed on half of his dropbacks, and Reed was trying, man. He was trying to stay in the pocket. He was trying to step up and make throws, but it's a nightmare right now playing this South Carolina defensive line. They can beat, when they play like they played last night, they could play with any team in the country. I'm talking at the very top, A&M, Oregon, Georgia, Bama, we've seen it already. Oh, yeah. LSU, it does not matter. This is one of the top 3 to 5 defenses in the entire country. Their D-line dominated start to finish. It's just, it is so, literally, I'm telling you, it's like you watch this, it's like anxiety-inducing. Like you're worried about the quarterback getting hurt. You're worried about all these different things. To A&M's offensive line, which had been playing really well of late, right, especially in the run game, no chance at all. That's just what it comes down to. And I'm just going to lean into my most impressive here.
Go ahead.
Dylan Stewart's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
This is nuts. A 90 pass rush grade last night. He had 9 pressures. He had a sack in the fourth quarter. Believe he recovered a fumble. He's got now, because there was a time he got off to a hot start, then kind of hit a lull as they got into SEC play. The last 2 weeks, he's got 14 pressures. Ooh. This is a freak of nature. We were talking about this last night. He, right now, if we did our all-eligible mock right now, he'd be edge 1.
Yeah.
He's third, Max, he's third in the nation in pass rush grade right now as a true freshman. It's just
in the SEC.
The SEC, playing playing the Alabama and A&M and LSU. He's a freak of nature. This is a guy for 2027, right? We're talking about with him.
Yeah.
We're already looking at him like, this is like an edge player who could be the number 1 overall pick. Yeah. That's how good Dylan Stewart is. And we talked about it earlier in the year. We kind of hit a low where he was figuring things out, still trying to get, and he was really good in run defense in this game too. Dylan Stewart, along with the rest of the South Carolina defensive line, to me, that they just dominated the entire game from start to finish. And A&M, if and I know actually they tied the game. They took the 20-17 lead, and the game was tied at 20 at halftime. But if you fall behind, any team in the country could lose to South Carolina if they fall behind. If they fall behind that defense 14-0, good luck.
Yeah.
Because this D-line is just, it's off the charts. It's really, for as talented and deep as it is, it may be the best D-line in the whole country.
It is disgustingly good. Michigan's definitely up there as well, because Michigan is so good as well. But yeah, dude, and I cannot wait for that all-eligible mock draft, because we did our all-eligible mock draft last year. And if you want to check it out, go check it out, because this was a very fun episode that we did. And just for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about when we say that, all-eligible mock draft, basically think of it like NBA style, where NBA, you only have to go to college for 1 year. That's what we're trying to do here. So if you go to college for 1 year, you're eligible to be drafted. So 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027 guys are eligible to be drafted. In that last year, a lot of the top picks were still 2024 guys, because it was loaded at the top. In this kind of draft, though, this year, I think you're going to see a lot of 2027 guys, like obviously Dylan Stewart, Jeremiah Smith is up there, Ryan Williams is up there as well. A bunch of true freshmen like DJ Lagway, Dylan Raiola.
Jordan Seaton.
Yeah, Jordan Seaton. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so many guys. So that all eligible mock draft that we're going to do during draft season later on is going to be unbelievable. So I can't wait to do that. So I'm glad you did both on Road Dogs. Mine kind of go into each other as well. I kind of had a feeling going into this game, whoever runs the ball better is going to win this game, honestly. And Texas A&M had a lot of troubles running the football. Negative 0.3 EPA per rush in this one. Only 168 rushing yards total. They averaged 4.3 yards per carry, 0.6 yards before contact per carry. Really, the Le'Veon Moss injury early in the game killed them. I think he only had 2 carries the entire night.
They played 4 snaps. Got hit twice, was shaken up on the first one, and then really went down on the second one. That hurt him a lot because he's been so good this year, and it's really been that 3-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, you look at what the Texas A&M is right now. If you stop their ground game, you're going to have a lot of success against Texas A&M because Marcel Reed, as electric as he's been as a runner, he's still really raw as a passer. He had a 47.3 passing grade in this game. So that really was the set the story for me, was that just, hey, if you stop A&M's run game, they're going to struggle to score, honestly. And you saw that in this one. And then on the opposite side, a really kind of similar team in South Carolina that, has a great D-line like A&M does, can really run the football, but passing the football has been up and down with Lenora Sellers. Well, South Carolina's run game was great in this one. Raheem Sanders had 20 carries for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns, 119 yards after contact with 4 broken tackles. And Lenora Sellers, 15 carries for 106 yards and a touchdown. Dalton, he broke 12 tackles in this game for an 80% broken tackle rate. His previous career high for broken tackles was 3. He quadrupled his previous career high in this one against Texas A&M. So, like I said, this game is really going to come down to who runs the football better with kind of 2 raw passers playing quarterback, and South Carolina won that battle easily, and it's why I think ultimately they won this game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. You're right. It was a game that was going to come down to the run games, right? Who was going to run it between the tackles and be the more physical football team, but that became South Carolina. If Lenora Sellers doesn't turn the football over, they're very, very hard to beat with their run game with Sanders and Sellers and their defense. And got to credit to the tight end Josh Simon with a great day also. They just gave him enough in the passing game. But no, I mean, A&M got out-physicaled in this game on both sides of the ball. And you mentioned it with Marcel Reed. That team falls behind. They're not going to want him to win with his arm, right? Yeah. I mean, even last week in a great game against LSU, what did he throw? 3 passes, I think it was. He had 1 big-time throw, but it's a team that needs to run the ball and needs to be the better defensive team. They did neither of those things in this game, and that's why they lost. And now we're going to be looking ahead to that game against Texas at Kyle Field, and somebody's season's going to be on the line, if not both teams.
It could be really interesting. And listen, Marcel Reed, I like him a lot. He's still a very, very young kid, but it's just kind of where you are right now is that Connor Wigman's not getting done as a passer, and then obviously Marcel Reed's just not ready as a passer. It's just like you're in a tough spot with this passing game for Texas A&M right now. So
it feels a lot like what Colin Klein dealt with at Kansas State last year. He's kind of got the same dynamic going there right now.
We might talk about that in just a second as well.